So, as of this moment, the details are these: a father and a husband, someone who preached about Christ very, very often, has been brutally assassinated. He's been murdered. He's been taken off of this plane of existence, and the America that we know is reeling from this. I have many people telling me that they are. It feels like something's been robbed from them. It feels like a personal attack. Some people are losing sleep over this. It's a very, very strange feeling. And what I wanted to happen is now happening. I don't know how perfect this is going to look. I have no idea. But the important thing is that we are having a conversation. And with me today, having a conversation about this and some other topics, is Jimmy Bagwell. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Well, I'm Jimmy Bagwell. I'm the minister in Bad Axe, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, Jimmy, thank you so much for being on the program. And let's get into this. What is your, before we get into anything else, because we want to talk about the overall problem, we want to talk about the solution. I want to talk about first, where do you think this is heading?
Where do I think this is heading?
Yeah, the overall feeling of the country right now, politically, morally, spiritually, culturally, are we headed towards a civil war? Because when I was doing some research earlier today, I put up a video just before this. I was looking at Google Trends, and they have from 0 to 100 some of the most popularly searched terms. And as of September 11th at 12 a.m., civil war was being searched and written about at the top levels on Google. Do you think that we are headed towards a civil war?
Well, a lot of that, how do you define civil war? I mean, is it a war of ideas? Are we taken to the streets with guns? Uh, it depends on what you mean when you ask, are we headed for a civil war? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to necessitate the bearing of arms. There will be violence. There always has been violence. Political ideologies have a way of taking people who are normally easygoing and pushing them in the wrong direction. It's a form of tribalism, and
Yeah.
will it get violent? Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be avoided? Yeah.
That's the
Uh,
hope anyway,
there,
right?
at least the more violent aspects of it can be avoided. There's always going to be a war of ideas.
Right.
There's going to be a war of doctrines. There's going to be a war of feelings versus facts. That's nothing new.
Right.
Uh, and as Christians, we are prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're talking about a physical military exchange, well, it has happened before.
We have precedent that it
Uh,
has.
Unfortunately, today we have the means to make that a lot worse.
Yeah, we do.
Uh,
So, you know, would a civil war in America, would it what would it look like? Would it look like men lining up on the streets like in battle, or would it be something completely different this time?
well, there would be some of that.
Sure.
Uh, it'd be cyber
Oh.
uh, information.
Hmm.
Or if you ask me how I would do it, that's the first thing I would do.
Right. Yeah. If you're gonna think like you got to be like Sun Tzu. Yeah, think like the enemy. Um, so I don't know about you. I think I know about you, but I think I speak for a lot of people right now, in and out of the church. People are worried about this. They're worried about the implications of what's going to happen to society. And before we dig into more of that, I really want to talk about what the problem is. Like, how did we get here? How would you define how we got here?
We don't listen. We have, and I was talking to my daughter just the other day about this. We always say that, this new generation, they're going through the same thing my generation did, and to a large extent, that's true. But people who are, let's say, 30 and younger, are being forced to process far more information.
It's true.
And while that sounds like a good thing, the downside is a majority of that information is not factual.
Yep.
Well, it was just a few years they had hundreds of thousands of teenagers eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
jeez.
And people look at information. People look at curated lives online. People whose lives are filtered to make it look a certain way, and they say, "I want this."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to engage. I'm going to be militant. I'm going to take up their cause. When more than likely their cause is just clicks.
Mm-hmm.
But what am I going to do? It was Jesus who said, "There shall be wars and rumors of wars, but do not fear, because these things," and he uses the word need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Need to be.
Uh-huh.
Are there going to be any more wars? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be in my lifetime? Don't know. Is
Right.
it something that we will survive? Yes.
Right.
Maybe not me personally, but the idea that mankind is somehow going to get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
That's God is still in control.
Right.
And I know there will probably be people who will listen to this who don't believe in God, and I'll say, well, that's well and good, but the laws of the universe are still in control.
Right. Right.
Humanity we will turn on each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then we'll turn back to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll turn on each other again.
Right.
And it's not. It doesn't come to what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. To me, the question is always, why is it happening?
Why is it happening? Yeah.
Why is it happening?
Do you think? Go ahead. Finish your point.
Hatred is one of the things I don't understand, and I don't know if it's because I'm dense or maybe I'm just stupid.
I asked your wife that question.
I understand anger. I understand rage. I understand, feeling like my life is being dismissed. But hatred is something that you literally you have to be taught to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come naturally. And I think people are being taught to hate.
They are.
And
there's no doubt about it. You're right.
This is as much as I would love to sit here and point fingers at political parties and say, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. I can't intellectually, honestly do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When people place party above,
mm-hmm.
What is beneficial, what is, or even what is preferable,
mm-hmm.
you lose something.
You do. Yeah, absolutely.
And
let me ask this question. Do you think that we've got to this place morally in this nation to where, doing what happened to Charlie Kirk and so many other things in the past year, where that's become morally acceptable? Do you think that we got to that point because ultimately it ends up at a rejection of God?
No.
You don't think that's the reason?
Don't get me wrong. There are people who will morally accept it. And that group may even be in the majority. But if you're asking if we as a society, no.
I'm asking if you think that we've gotten to the point that we are at because we've rejected Christ and God?
No.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm interested. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm understanding your question.
Okay.
Are you saying we have reached this point because we've reflected Christ and God?
Rejected.
Oh, I thought you said reflected.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was about to say, this is
even,
about to be a very interesting conversation.
well, new equipment.
Right. No big deal.
I thought you said rejected, so I stand corrected. And that's another thing right there. There's not going to be any kind of cultural understanding until we're willing to listen, to talk, to discuss. But here's the secret that I think a lot of people avoid. It's like what just happened. I misheard you. I didn't understand you. I didn't. And there's two ways I could have dealt with that. I could have done what I did. Oh, I misheard you. Or I could have said, no, you said that, but you didn't intend to.
Right.
We've got to, in every conversation, whether we're talking politics, history, religion, we've got to go into that conversation, whether it's a debate, whether it's an argument, whether we're just sitting like two friends over a cup of coffee. We got to go into that discussion with this in our mind that, there's a possibility that what I believe is wrong.
Oh,
and I've got to be open to that. I've got to be open to that.
You're right. You're so right.
I mean,
there's not enough of that going on right now in and out of the church. There's not enough of saying, I've heard all the details and I could be wrong. There's no, I automatically believe this. This is the standard and that's it, which at certain points, that's a good thing. But when you're trying to broaden your horizons and you're trying to think critically, that's not a good thing. You should always pressure test everything that you're being heard. And then if it checks out, go ahead and believe it. The problem is, it seems like there's a group of people with a certain worldview that I'm right no matter what. I'm not going to take anything in. I'm not going to listen to any other opinions other than my own. And if you try and convince me, I'm going to hurt you.
Well, it's this, and I almost got myself in trouble with people at the school about this, where my kids go to school. The definition of violence and bullying, and
it's changed.
In my day, it wasn't bullying unless there was a physical altercation. Now, if I just say something in jest, oh, that's violence.
Right.
But even in that, people have gotten to the point where you hold a certain opinion. That's wonderful. You have reasons to hold those opinions. But we've gotten to the point where if you disagree with my opinions, then you are attacking me. You hate me. You want to get rid of me. So I need to stop you first. At least that's what it appears.
You're right.
I mean, I disagree with multitudes of people. Some I like, some I don't necessarily like. Some people, some of them I love very deeply.
Yes, sir.
And I disagree. And if I'm going to be honest, I have fallen into that trap.
I think we all have in one way or another, if we're honest. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody will say something and I'll agree with it. Then I find out where they got it from, and I said, oh, they said that. Well, it's wrong then. I don't know how I got there. Particularly when it comes to politics. I mean, you'll hear a policy that's really good that you think is good, but then if you hear that policy is a policy of the other side of the aisle, then it becomes a bad policy. Because Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
And it's this cultural tribalism
It is.
And there's a lot of things you can blame.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to blame TikTok. I'm going to blame social media. Well, it's all the technology. They're always in their screens. Every time you see them, they're zooming, they're texting, they're Snapchatting, blah blah blah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to behavior, who made that decision?
It's true too.
Uh,
Yeah.
we don't focus enough on personal responsibility.
Right.
What am
So
I going to do about this?
right. Uh-huh. Personal responsibility is a huge problem in our nation today. Absolutely. So what is your what it when I assume that you saw the video of Charlie Kirk getting shot. Okay. It's pretty much been wiped from the internet for the most part. It's still out there. If you haven't seen it, don't see it. It's awful to look at. But have you? What was your reaction when you saw him get shot? What were you thinking? Did this turn into a Republican versus Democrat thing or a right versus wrong thing?
Oh, when I first saw it, I didn't believe it.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I know what you mean.
it did. And to be honest, it didn't look real.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a bad deep fake or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd already heard the news. I saw the video a few hours later
Right. From
than it
multiple
actually happened,
angles.
so I didn't see it live.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I somewhat followed Charlie Kirk's videos. I liked his. Most of the time, I liked his demeanor. Some
Sure.
of the times, he was far more callous.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not callous. Sarcastic
Sure.
than this
Uh-huh.
situation called for. But I mean, I can appreciate sarcasm if it's well executed.
Yeah.
At least he was entertaining.
Right.
But at first, it was hard to believe that this would happen.
Sure.
It happened on a college campus. It happened in a gun-free zone.
Which isn't supposed to happen, right? I thought that wasn't supposed
Well,
to happen.
we could discuss that
Yeah.
all you want to. I mean, it was a gun-free zone. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who has the gun is the person who is doing something illegal.
Right.
But that's how gun control works.
Right.
But that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to, what can we as Christians? How do we approach this? How do we deal with this? And do we need to worry?
That's the next thing that I want to get into. What is our approach going to be to stuff like this, especially when we look into the future? What is the solution for all the madness that we are seeing right now? Do we need to worry? Do we need to fear? Do we need to be cautious? There's so much to get into here. Let's just break it down here first, okay? Do we need to worry?
No.
Explain.
Matthew chapter 6 talks us about the daily things in life. There is a thing for Christians, for individuals, for those who have a moral compass.
Mm-hmm.
Our priorities in life.
Right.
We are given control.
Right.
Over a very small circle.
Mm-hmm.
Of life.
Very small.
What happens outside of that is beyond much of our control.
Right. Right.
And to me, there's a difference between being worried and being cautious. Should we be cautious? By all means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a father. I have a wife. I have kids. I'm going to protect them.
Uh-huh.
Am I going to go out looking for war? No.
Of course not. Right. So let me tell you. Let me just cut in just for a second. The past 2 nights, and I believe I speak for a whole lot of people when I say this. The past 2 nights, because of what happened and because of what's going on in our nation right now, I have lost significant sleep. I have not slept well when I did get to shut my eyes. I have been worried about this. I have been anxious about this. And there comes a certain point where you have to tell yourself, enough with the worry, enough with the garbage anxiousness. Okay, Lord, I need your help. I need your help to go ahead and be a man, be courageous, go ahead and not worry about this, because at the end of the day, you're sovereign, you're in control, and I know that everything is going to work out exactly how it needs to work out. Can you give some of us younger guys, younger men, younger women, some advice in Christianity to help with worry, to help with anxiety, especially when we look out at this nation right now? It's a mess. Can you give us anything, any advice to combat our stress and our anxiety about the future?
I can't, but the Apostle Paul can.
Go ahead.
In Philippians chapter 4, verse 8, he says, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, and whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things."
Think about these things.
I know where you're at. This happened to me during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
You're hearing all this negative stuff, all that, and that just went into my mind and just stayed there.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm getting a refresh. Okay,
got it all fixed.
It said I lost connection.
Okay, yeah, we're good. We got a clear picture over here.
You can edit that out.
Yes, sir.
But you've heard the old saying, "Garbage in, garbage out."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well it's garbage in, garbage out, garbage right back in. If I constantly recycle the same negativity, then that is going to drastically affect my life. Are these things to be concerned about? Yeah. Are there things you need to plan for? Well, possibly, maybe, more than likely.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying? Go ahead.
I'm not saying don't think about these things. I'm not saying don't be concerned. I'm saying that there are things that are more powerful, more noble, more lovely than these worries.
Okay.
So
you're saying like the way that the reason why there could be so much stress and anxiety is because there's a significant influx in negativity from the news, from the media, from politics, from morality of the culture around us. There's too much of a negative influence and not enough of a positive influence in our life. What we think about in our minds will dictate how we feel and what words come out of our mouths and what actions we do in our life every day. And so I'll make a confession right here, right now. You know what? You know what I didn't do today? I haven't read my chapter out of 2 Kings, because right now I'm in 2 Kings right now, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every second. I love Kings so much, and I'm in 2 Kings. I'm almost done with it. I just got done with 1 Kings, and I haven't read from God's Word today. And you know what? A bunch of my anxiety and a bunch of my stress could be boiled down to, well, how much positive am I putting into my mind? It's not about just not putting the negative in. There's nothing you can do about that. You're going to hear the news. You're going to be influenced by the negative. But you're saying we need to have more of a positive influx of things going into our heart and mind than just negative.
Well, that's part of it. You are right in the sense that we can't avoid the negative. But let's not oversimplify this. It's not culture's fault that I'm anxious, that I'm worried. It's and I'm going to word this very carefully because it's not an accusation.
That's fine.
It's the inability and or unwillingness to apply filters to. Like we go online and you see videos, all kinds of filters. People filter their images, make themselves look pretty, or some even make themselves look grotesque. We have the ability to do that with information.
Right.
We can't do it from their end, but we can do it from our end. What goes into my head? In John chapter 17, Jesus prayed for his disciples. He said, don't take them out of the world, even though they're not of the world. And it on the surface, it sounds counterproductive,
Mhm.
but the fact that we're supposed to be in the world implies that we have this ability to set our minds to filter in such a way that the world's corrupt communication doesn't drag us down with it.
Right. You're right. Absolutely.
Um,
And that comes by the power of God and the power of His Word and everything like that. You're right. You're right. So, question, and I think this is a good stopping point. Okay. We don't want to make these episodes too long. So let me ask you: when we look out right now at the world, and it seems like it's just spiraling out of control and everything. Okay. I know what I would say, but I want to know what you would say on this question. What is the solution? How do we turn this train around before we go off a cliff?
we don't. We don't.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I only have control over my circle of influence.
Right.
If the train goes off the cliff, I'm not on the train.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the Bible gives us the practical answer, and I get a kick out of people who are skeptics and atheists
Mm-hmm.
who, well, they think they have a gotcha moment when they say, well, if God is so good, God is so wonderful and loving and all powerful, why does evil exist? Why doesn't God do something?
Uh-huh. Right.
And the whole question is built on a fallacy because it's built on the assumption that God hasn't already done something.
You're right.
You know what God has done?
Mm-hmm.
God has said, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Mm-hmm.
He said, love your neighbor as yourself. He said, teach the truth in love. He said, pray for those who despitefully use you.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me God hasn't done something? Imagine tomorrow morning if just 10% of our population did those things.
Mm-hmm.
20%.
Mm-hmm.
30.
Oh man, significant, drastic difference.
I've got to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to do that.
Right.
I can't make anyone else do it,
Sure.
but I've got to do that.
So our part is
I do my part.
do your
I
part.
don't control. I can try to be a positive influence. I can be the salt. I can be the light. I've got to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, if the train goes off the cliff,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like it hasn't happened before.
That's human history, right? It's gone off the cliff before.
Even our own history, as limited as it is in the United States, it's
Mm-hmm.
happened before.
It's happened before.
God is in control.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Has to be.
We
So
think we are.
yeah, that's a fundamental error. Yeah, we think we are. Right.
And we are divided over some political. I'm speaking politically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
We are divided over some of the most common sense. People will automatically. How shall I put this? There are things in this world that are common sense. A dog is a dog, a cat is a cat, a man is a man, a woman is a woman.
Yeah.
Common sense.
And we lost that.
We don't depend on rationality anymore. We depend on the click, the bait. What is going to make me relevant? What is going to
Mm-hmm.
catapult me into being important?
Mm-hmm.
And
how can I create my own reality outside the reality that God did?
that's what it is.
Yeah.
As a society, generally, we've
Mm-hmm.
become unanchored.
Unanchored.
We're unanchored from. We're drifting,
Mm-hmm.
and until we pull into port, till we see that safe space, that lighthouse and make the decision,
Mm-hmm.
we're just going to drift.
Yeah.
Uh,
And what is that anchor that if this society does not want to go down in flames, what is that anchor that everybody needs to grab a hold of?
truth.
What is truth? Pilate said.
Truth is that which is fundamental and absolute. You referenced Pilate's question.
Yeah.
Uh, Jesus' answer to that was the Word.
Uh-huh.
The Word is true. The Bible is a fascinating book. Uh, it's not a history book. It's not a science book. It's not a book of geography. And it's all of those things.
Yeah.
Uh, there are things in the Bible we can test.
Mm-hmm.
Did this event take place? Did these people exist? Were
Mm-hmm.
these countries real? We can test it geographically, historically,
Check. It checks all the boxes.
scientifically.
Right.
It uses a phrase, and a lot of people kind of misunderstand this when it talks about the circle of the earth.
Uh-huh.
That Hebrew phrase is one of 4 words that can be translated as circle.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hebrew word used there implies a 3-dimensional object,
Yes,
a
it
sphere.
does.
And you're looking at something that was written over, almost 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, that was in
So
Isaiah. Yeah.
there's a scientific truth that can be tested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are areas you can't test. The
Sure.
miraculous.
Right.
Jesus walked on the water. Did he leave footprints? No. But when you can look at a book where 85 to 90% of it can be proven to be accurate,
Right.
that tells you something about the remaining parts, that there is, at the very minimal, some truth there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Are some of them metaphorical? Possibly. Uh, are they miraculous? I
Mm-hmm.
take it by faith. Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Even if some of it's metaphor, even if some of it's symbolic, it's still true. And until we can be intellectually honest and look at truth,
Mm-hmm.
whether we're talking biblical truth, scientific truth, historical truth, it's all absolute.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you believe or I believe is going to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Up is still up, down is still down. We can't change that. We've got to stop living in realities that don't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't know if it's cultural insecurity, longings, misplaced desires, or just people striving to be different.
Sure. Yep. When I look
We've
at
got to anchor
society today,
ourselves in something that's real.
right? Exactly. And it's an acceptance of what is real, God, His Word, where you individually and collectively as a nation will find the most peace when you accept it. And when you reject it, that's when everything in your personal life, and that's when everything in society falls apart. When God and His Word is either accepted or rejected. And for a long time here in America, we have a current history of slowly but steadily rejecting him more and more and more and more, and here we are today. And so, like, the only way that this is ever going to change is if we do our part, get out there, tell people about Jesus, tell people about God's love for them and what He did for them. Until they accept that message, nothing's going to change. It might even get worse.
Well, the thing about that is we have to be open to it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Parable of the soil, right?
People reject truth for all kinds of reasons. Some are understandable. Some are excusable to a certain extent. But you still end up in the same place.
Right.
Whether I misunderstand it or disbelieve it, I end up in the same place.
Right.
I miss what God was saying.
Right. Okay. Well, I tell you what, that is a good place to stop today. So, final words, Jimmy?
I encourage everyone to read the book of Ecclesiastes at least once a year, because
Yeah.
Solomon's dealing with these exact same questions.
Oh yeah.
The futility of our own pursuits.
Yep. You're right. Okay. All right. Well, Jimmy, I want to thank you so much for being on the program today and talking about these really, really important things. And hope to have you on again, and we'll talk more. And to everybody out there, don't worry. God's in control. Whether this goes one way or the other, God's in control, and He has a purpose for it. And so, don't fear, and don't be like crazy old Nathan and not read his Bible today. In fact, as soon as we get off here, I'm going to go ahead and read my chapter of the Bible and everything. So, just be blessed, and we'll talk to y'all later. Okay.